Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. It's that time of day yet again, guys. Welcome. Time to get this show on the road on both platforms, YouTube and TikTok. Welcome one and all. And let's get this thing started. As always, guys, good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening, no matter where we are around the world. Bit of a new layout for the YouTube stream. I had all sorts of issues in my settings. I've had to refigure it all out. No, it's a bit of a pain in the backside, but it's all done. Excuse any mess you might be able to see in the background on YouTube. But anyway, guys, what we're here for is to analyze the charts and do what we do best and look for only quality setups. Nothing more, well, nothing less, sorry. Has to be quality, and that's what we'll be looking for here today yet again. As always, guys, if you could make sure to smash that like button. Those of you new YouTube, TikTok, hit that screen for me. Without further ado, let's have a look at the news moving forward today. It is a big day news-wise. We do have some high-impact news to come for the Euro sector with flash services PMI and services PMI for the French and German, for France and Germany, which is obviously the two major economies of the EU. So that will have a big impact on proceedings for those of you who do trade euro pairs. It will also affect the pound. It always does. It tends to spike the spreads on the pound and make the pound move off the back of it as well. And then obviously we've got the pound PMI to follow a little bit later on, so that will also obviously have an effect on the euro, so on and so forth. So plenty of news to keep an eye on moving forward into NY session. Also the same thing, PMI all around today, so it's going to be a big day moving forward. And anyway, guys, if you have any charts, any questions, anything you want to chat about or any comments, make sure to send those into the chat and I will get to you all shortly on both YouTube and TikTok. And let's take a look, and let's start with the beast that is gold. And first time in a long time we've not come to the stream at a new all-time high. Actually made a decent pullback for a change. So let's have a look at it, and let's start in the weekly time frame. And we've actually flipped the candle itself back bearish, but we do have a higher high, higher low. Is it just a healthy pullback? Well, at the moment, that's what I'm assuming. So we're going to be obviously looking to see what sort of levels we are fast approaching, where we could potentially look for options to buy it from. Also be looking to see if we do pull back or below the low, even if there is any potential options for continuation sales. But at least now we'll have some sort of catalyst to start looking for more probable sells. On to the daily time frame, and once again bullish in structure on the daily time frame. We've also got the candle low probabilities to the downside, so if we were to look for sells, we can use that as added confluence. But we are at a support here to the left hand side. We are hovering below it. Obviously we've got levels within this bearish candle wick. So we'll have to look down to the 4 hour and M30, but we are still technically bullish, but using the counter probabilities, they are to obviously to the downside. Let's just mark in the current daily high and see what we've got also above that point there. Now onto the 4 hour, and we do remain bullish in structure on the 4 hour, and we are fast approaching. Have we tapped in or not quite? Would love for this to tap in to this 4 hour zone, and that could be us grabbing some liquidity before we potentially form support, head back up. What we are is bullish in structure on the 4 hour. Closure below this 32.83 could be interesting because we're likely going to have some pretty clean traffic to the left on the minor time frame to look for some potential continuation sells. Onto the 30-minute time frame. Now that is definitely flipped bearish, so off the back of that we are technically neutral in our bias here today, guys. So really look for options in our direction. Let's just quickly go down to the 15-minute time frame. We'll just do that. All right, so this is good. What I'd love to see just now is price tap into this 4 hour zone. That would be ideal. If we tap into it, then you could argue we've just grabbed some liquidity, pull back to grab some more liquidity. We look to the left of that, and the most recent swing, the most recent resistance formed is at this 34.49.50 region. So if we were to continue bearish, on the pullback, there is not much of a need for us to pop above. Even if we broke above, we don't need to necessarily close above. If we begin to pop back below into the range below 34.46, could be some options to look for the potential sell upon. Just a bit of a liquidity grab from the upside. Need to wait for the right confirmation to do so from that level. And having said that, if we were to begin to pop above, close above, retest, at that point there, I'd be looking to potentially place a buy stop above our catalyst candles high. So if we want to see the closure above that point, want to see the retest, and then I can look for the continuation buy above that 34.4950 to 33.4950 to 33.50 flat, that sort of region for the buys. Now I won't discount the buys from lower down too, guys. We need to wait for a bit more data to print, but if we did tap into the 4 hour zone, begin to bounce off it, and I had a nice catalyst from the current level to look for a buy option, I would definitely entertain that as an option, seeing it is a strong level to the left hand side. So just a matter of waiting for a signal to present, as long as we tap in, and I could look for options to buy it from lower down. That is my opinion of gold. There's obviously pretty clean traffic below these lows as well, but we're far off it, so we won't worry too much about it for the time being. What we might do is, though, we can adjust this zone a little bit, because we might have some sell options. Yeah, we might have some nice sell options actually below this point here. That's another option. If price was to begin to pop below this 33.12.20 region, we have some very clean traffic to the left on the minor time frame. I know we'll be pushing further into the 4 hour zone, but with the momentum at the moment within the current daily being to the downside, and considering the structure is creating some lower highs, lower lows, we were to once again pop below the support here, the minor support, further into the 4 hour range below at 33.12 sort of region, I would also entertain my options to sell it based off that. So that is currently what I am seeing on the gold, guys. Hopefully that does make sense. Make sure to smash that screen for me, and we can have a look at GJ. It's charter marked up for the team moments ago. We'll go over the analysis on GJ. So looking once again at the weekly time frame, and we are pretty much at our open, but what we do have is a high low, higher high at a very significant level on the chart here to the left, a very strong level of support onto the daily time frame. All right, so previous daily closing a long lower wick, not much of an upper wick. Current daily's shot straight up by the looks of it. Difficult, very difficult price action. Very stubborn level is 189.60 to 70 sort of region. We keep tapping into it only to reject. So structure wise, we know we are bearish. Let's mark in the current daily candles low. Let's also mark in the current daily candles high. See what we got either side of those levels, knowing we are bearish in structure. The 4 hour, once again, nothing's changed from yesterday. Could see it as either bearish or bullish. You could argue the case for both. What we have rejected that resistance, so it's a very key level. It's a critical level that just keeps respecting. So it's a tough nut to crack. We obviously want to be above that point. Look for more probable buys above that 190 sort of flat, 190.10 actually, that sort of region. Most recent support got the level down to lows here. All right, onto the 30-minute time frame, and that is bullish, and that will remain bullish at this rate until technically below 188.20. To be honest, just going to adjust this zone a little bit to the downside for the time being. All right, so GJ, let's go down to the 15-minute time frame just quickly. Got some minor resistance at this point here. We're going to have to market that in. And so that's the current area that we're stuck in, the minor range, kind of consolidating at the moment. Now I can just adjust the zone to the upside a little bit as well, just a fraction, give us a little bit more margin. So the most recent resistance form, the current daily candle, we have to reject it. There's another resistance just a little bit above that point there. So above this 189.220 sort of region, we do have some pretty clean traffic to the left at that point there. I will look to execute on a potential buy. So something like so, closure above, retest, continuation. Likely would avoid the impulse entries, but we will see if it does present, if it is valid. Now, aside from that, obviously below the lows, which was is it the current daily low? I don't think it is. It is actually. Yeah, so if we were to break the support formed at the daily low, got some pretty clean traffic down towards that 188.30 sort of region. It's just a matter of whether we have enough margin to look for the potential sell below that point. But if we were to close below it, then obviously I would look to execute upon a sell back down to the support here to the left hand side. And we may look for buys from lower down as well, guys. Seeing it is still technically bullish, if it does present where we have a nice clean move back down to the support, yeah, I'm just simply waiting for a catalyst within price action or some potential buys from lower down on GJ. So that is my analysis. We'll keep an eye on gold for the time being. Feel a little bit rusty with the analysis today, to be honest, guys, but all good. Welcome, one and all. Franco, good morning to you. Tony Gold, Sketchmas, Kyle, Steve, Zoomin, Num Trader. You be more than welcome to ask a question. EU. Weekly high, low, flip back bearish. Bit of a sell-off on the majors. Not sure what caused that. Could be something to do with Trump announcing that Powell is not in any immediate danger of getting fired. So obviously that means he will be fired eventually when his term's finished. Powell. I never believe. So he's obviously anything he says just gonna, yeah. Obviously he'll do the opposite. Daily counter probabilities are to the downside on EU. Structure wise, we are definitely bullish though. I would be marking the current daily candles high, seeing we do have that lower high, lower low. If we were to continue bearish, not really much of a need for us to pop back up and break our own high. Over to the 4 hour time frame, and that is also still technically bullish. We have retested the last significant lower high, high low, sorry, and we have bounced right off it. So still bullish on the 4 hour as well. Onto the 30-minute time frame now. I'm just going to obviously adjust this zone. Most recent price action now. 30 minutes definitely bearish, so similar sort of bias to gold at the moment on EU. Above the daily high, yeah, still not the cleanest to be honest. Sells don't look too bad. Now it's not close strong enough for me to sell upon impulse. So right now I'll be waiting for a closure below 113.705. Something like so, and then look for an option to sell back down towards the daily low. For buys, I'd probably prefer to miss the buy above the daily high, to be honest, with the traffic quite choppy to the left, rather create a clean move up, cut through, pull back, form support, and then look for what in my opinion is a more probable entry to buy it. So that is my opinion of EU. And maybe buy some lower down, sells below the daily low also look good. TikTok, how are we guys? Welcome one and all. Let me skim through the chat. Sylvia, are we in for buys? Potentially. Gold's at a good level to look for options to buy it. Rudder Stocks was watching this today. What, gold? Oh, it's dropping. Alright, so we could have some options to maybe sell it soon. Courtney, good afternoon to you. Welcome. EU news today. Yep, high impact news for the pound and the euro sector. So something to definitely keep an eye on. Data, what are you trading? I'm looking at gold at the moment, spot gold. M will go back up. Will gold go back up? It could. I mean, it's at an interesting level. It's at a 4-hour support. I am contemplating selling it deeper into the support low, based off the fact that we have some very clean traffic to the left. Now, one slight concern, my guys probably know, some who watch this regularly will probably know as well. We've literally come from, let's just measure this. So $40 move, so 414 pips roughly, without any pause whatsoever on 15-minute time frame. Down into the range below. I'd normally want to see a bit of a pause. However, if we do respect this point and perhaps close bullish engulfing the next M15, what that's going to do is close the M30 back bullish at strong support. We have finally tapped into the 4-hour level, and I could look for a buy based off the back of that. So it's at an interesting level. Let's just keep an eye on 15. Hello, g'day to you, welcome. Ash, Pokemon gotta catch them all. That's what you believe? RDF, opinion on Sui, no opinion of it. Something I did want to actually accumulate a bit off, but it's taken off. Look at that. That's why I've got it up here. Every time I add a crypto to the watch list, it either completely shits the bed, and I think I'll get involved soon, and I don't, it pumps, or it just completely pumps like Sui is actually doing. It is an Ethereum competitor, isn't it? And will US 100 go back up? Well, it's off the back of the news, it seems to have bounced. I mean, it could be because the markets don't like uncertainty, and if Trump's come out to say that he's not gonna, remove Powell from his position anytime soon, then maybe the markets liked hearing that. Powell's been really good for obviously the tech stocks, for equities in general. So off the back of that, that's probably what may have given NAS a bit of a push. As far as proceedings moving forward, weekly's flip back bullish, daily counter probability upside, no low wick on the current daily. Structure is still technically bearish, 4-hour structure is still technically bullish. Add some wicks here to the left, so likely going to be some resistance on the minor time frame. Let's just draw in levels on the 30 and 15. Alright, 15 is actually pretty clean, to be honest. So I'd just be focused on the minor levels here on NASDAQ above 18701. We do have some clean traffic all the way back up towards that 18841. It's definitely enough margin to look for some pips in amongst that level. And otherwise, I think 18528, if price was to come back down to that point there, I'd be looking for options to buy it back above that point, and also be looking for my options to sell it if it did begin to pop a lot. To have some very clean traffic to the left, and obviously I'd be still considering sell it from higher up, remembering the higher time frame, that being daily, still technically bearish in structure. Don't see a great deal else at the moment on NAS. Boss Nova, how's things, mate? Been testing 1 minute scalping strategy past week. Just doing something different to keep the brain going. sold at 32, VWAP bounce, 1 minute chart, took $15. You don't use indicators? I don't usually. Just testing a demo. That's all. Yeah, that's all you can do, mate. I'm testing something out as well, which I did send into my members group on GJ currently. There's nothing wrong with testing. I prefer to test live, like on a live account, just a really small position, because I'd rather just have skin in the game and just see how I react. But there's nothing wrong, obviously. You've got experience back testing or demo trading as well, and you're testing something out. Especially on gold, I suppose, because gold's a different beast altogether and has been moving with such momentum of late. I mean, even a tiny lot size on gold could still put dents into an account of late. Seen a live trading desk on YouTube, they trade stocks. Yeah, I've seen some equity trades as well on YouTube, more for the MI session. Actually, I don't think I've seen one for anything other than the MI session. Quality 100% use the demo first. Yeah, I mean, it's good to use the demo. I would suggest using it just to learn how the platform and all that works. I did do a video about a month or about 6 weeks, a month or 6 weeks ago, something like that, 2 months ago, I'm not too sure, I can't really remember. And I explained what I would do, and one of them was familiarizing yourself on the actual terminal on a demo account, because you're going to make some silly errors at the very beginning. Sometimes you're going to open a buy instead of a sell, and vice versa. But I've always been an advocate, and I've always told my guys, I think it's a good idea to forward test at the same time. So just have some skin in the game, even on just a really small position, because you're still gonna get a little bit, you know, maybe itchy fingers when you see it moving against you or with you or whatever, and you want to start managing the trade. So you're just going to need to learn to trust. But either way, I think it's, you know, you could do it either way, to be honest. Underdog, we're down to 3,200. I mean, it could, who knows, but long way to go. More concerned by the current level we're at, that 33.12 to 33.15. And it looks like we're going to remain above that support, so it'll all come down to the next candle for me. If it closes back bullish engulfing, then I could potentially look for an option to buy. ADF, again, it all comes down to Bitcoin. Whatever Bitcoin does, the others tend to follow. Bitcoin, to me, if you've got definitely got that daily closure above that level, yeah, Bitcoin is now back in an uptrend, in my personal opinion. Needs to close above this resistance, 88.60, 88.50. It's definitely done so. So now what I'd be looking for on Bitcoin is potentially a pullback to 88, perhaps some more liquidity from that level, and that's the next level you want to see hold. And then it could pull back up, and it's just simple simple charting, just using structure in a higher time frame. You're obviously looking for that higher low to form, then grab liquidity to have the momentum and volume to create the higher high. But in my opinion, crypto is very bullish off the back of that closure on Bitcoin. As much as it pains me to say it. All right, weak bearish closure on GJ. All right, so it all comes down to how this candle closes. If this candle closes bullish engulfing, or very close to it, preferably engulfing, but even if it just closes just below it, like so, that will be enough, because what that's going to do is close the M30 back bullish. And as long as I got that confirmation at the 4-hour support, then I would look for an option to buy. We are exhausting, so it's not like we're heading down with a lot of steam. These candles are weakening as we approach the 4-hour level, running out of momentum by the looks of it. So if we were to now, the price action signal was to present as far as that engulfing bullish candle, that would be enough for me to take an entry off the back of that. Underdog, look at the daily candles and week. Yep. What am I to look at? I just focus on the candle probabilities themselves, more so than anything else, and structure, but it's not below support, but there's no confirmation or stay below that support until we actually close below it, and obviously it's still 14, just under 15 hours to have that confirmation. Courtney, really enjoy your videos. Thanks, 100% on bottom zoom for Bitcoin. Thank you for your kind words. Glad you appreciate the content. Yeah, I really think crypto's perhaps in for another big move up. Yeah, not all that impressed by it, to be honest. I really don't have much skin in the game at all. I've got stuff all on Ethereum. Nothing that's going to be of any significance, to be honest. Wanted to accumulate Sweetie wanted to accumulate it a few days back, but it just goes to show that, look, if you DCA, you likely end up being okay when it comes to the long-term sort of things. These things are going to correct. Some weeks you're going to get in at a cheaper rate. You're going to pay less for the product. It's going to be on discount. Sometimes it's going to go up and you're going to pay a premium. It just is what it is. So what I do with silver, to be honest, I ignore the price and I just DCA. That's what I do with that, and it works really well. All right, look at gold now. Wow. Is it gonna just bounce at levels again? I think it did the same thing yesterday on one stream. Oh, snap, you watching gold in 1 minute, see if it bounces, are you up again? You know what to buy it or sell it? Corny. Silver mate, buy it. Buy the blocks, 910. Build houses with it. Yeah, it's I mean, the value of 1 ounce of gold, sorry, I think it's 103 to 1, the ratio at the moment. So you need 103 ounces of silver to equal 1 ounce of gold. That's nuts, that's crazy. I mean, it comes out of the ground, I think 1 to 7. There's more use case for silver than there is for gold. Obviously, it's a it's a commodity used in the building sector for, or obviously for many things, not just building materials. It's used in all electronics, it's used in weaponry, everything. I don't think it gets enough love, to be honest, but again, there's reasons for that. It's the most suppressed asset in the world because the big banks are heavily naked short on it. Plus, I think it's been ordered to keep it low, especially during times of, you know, conflict. But it's going to be a breaking point, so I'm happy to be positioned. I think it's good to branch out into, you know, some equities. Maybe I'm not involved in equities at all at the moment. Some crypto, precious metals, obviously real estate and all that. You can't afford it. Session, can we buy here? Maybe soon. Needs to wait 8.5 minutes. If it goes, it goes. Coin's been in accumulation since 2022. Yeah, it's actually moved quite well, to be honest. If we're looking at the higher time frame, where's last year it obviously made a pretty impressive move up. It tends to accumulate a lot though, like an impulse makes a nice you know, structural move up and then accumulates. But I mean, for the most part, since the pandemic crash, it's been quite bullish. It's tripled in price almost. Actually, yeah, pretty much, not quite, but almost. And there is absolutely nothing really to the left once you start popping above this 37.50 sort of level. Seven minutes remaining. Now, stop loss again is going to have to be based off the entry candle. You're likely going to have a wider stop loss, wider target. Again, it's not something I usually roll with, to be honest, but there's not much else you can do with gold at the moment. With the volume, the sheer volume of it, it's just one of those things you have to accept. That means lowering the lot size, things like that. For sales? Oh, okay. Franco sent my G analysis to the group. Okay, we'll have a look at that. Speaking of, let you guys in. I keep forgetting. Apologies. Yeah, it looks pretty clean. Yep, just looking at the naked chart without the zones, I can see it. Yep. Buys above 133.17 roughly. There could be options to sell it below 132.884. Gold standard 33.25 bounce. VWAP. $4 in. I'll cut the trade. $2 if no volume. Fair enough, mate. Is that a sell again, or is that a buy? It always likes gold, Connie. Yeah, it tends to like gold. Apparently, though, I've never been involved in a silver bull market. But it does follow gold, lag gold. But once the wind gets up it actually overtakes gold, and that's when you know you're in full on bull market phase. and when maybe it could be time to start selling positions in gold. I've heard of a lot of people who accumulate physical who are actually now swapping part of their gold holdings for silver, just because the value. So that's the plan with it. Accumulate it once it goes up in the ratio compared to gold. That's when you sell out into and swap it into gold. Sergio, are strats and patterns applicable across all trading types and currencies? Of course they are. Yep, for sure. You just got to choose which one resonates with you and which one you can make work. Give it time, because it takes a lot of time to test things out properly. Corny rare earth minerals. That's another one. Underdog, you believe after such bullish weeks on gold, run can still push higher from here, maybe retest? Look, I would have said that probably for the last 10 weeks on gold or more, to be honest. So, and every time it just continues. Yes, it will pull back eventually, but it has made pullbacks. You've had a few daily candles, just a few, but you've had some candles closing back bearish. Every time it just finds support and heads back up. So once again, I'm just seeing it at a level that I could potentially plan an option to buy it. It doesn't mean it's going to be a massive push back up. It might not be sustained, but it might be enough to get me to a level where I can secure some profits and potentially look for a sell from higher up. Trade B, g'day to you. All good, mate. Hope you're well. Just down up to 10k. I'm happy to hear it. Vince Long, good morning to you. Corny, you mostly invested but tapped into some day trading late last year, riding call. Nice one. Yeah, when it comes to silver, I don't trade it. I just hold it. Corny, you caught a 10 pull back today. Probably only trade to take for today. It's a pretty good trade to have, so well done. 2.5 minutes, guys. We want this thing to push up a little bit higher. Don't want to leave these long, massive wicks in either direction. Quickly look at GJ. Nothing on that. Yeah, this isn't quite what we want. For around me, 77. Yeah, I am preferring the buys, but I want to see a stronger closure here. I don't like this rejection on the M15. Tell you what, pretty shitty price action. He wants to pop up a little bit higher. So my concern is that if this closed as is, then you're going to close basically a doji candle. Needs to travel about 70 pips just to be triggered into a trade to have the counter probabilities on your side once you begin to break above that previous candle's high, which will be the previous candle shortly. So I'd prefer to get in a little bit earlier if it could, but it's going to be risky because so long as we remain within the high of that previous candle, it could at any point reject and head back down. So it could come down to simple price action. I would love for it to close engulfing, first of all. Doesn't look like it's going to do it, to be honest. For Rami, probably going to happen during London session, maybe. Underdog buys are very weak. Yeah, the sell pressure's also died off though. Alright, this is a bit better. Alright, you want to see a lower wick? because that low wick of the current candle will need to be used as a stop loss. Now it's got no upper wick. This will be very, very risky. It needs more of a low wick. You could almost take an early entry as it begins to flip. It's really, really risky if you're using the current candle's low as your stop loss. It's a bloody risky trade, to be honest, because again, we don't have the candle probabilities on our side. If you are to take an entry, I go a really small risk. Just back above the high. Really small risk. And you could literally just target that wick. I mean, I'd want to hold it though. But to me, it makes no sense to get involved above the high because you gotta travel too far just to do that. Seven. Looking around that 32.23. 33.23 region. 33.23 is a potential entry point. Now it's extremely risky, so I'd go lower risk because it could easily tag you in and pop back down, take you out. It does not really take much for gold to move, you know, 50 pips at the moment. It's sometimes makes the move within seconds or late. I just don't want to get involved. It does make sense. You do have that catalyst. You do have the 30 closing back bullish. The better entry would be above the high, but you have to wait for it to travel a fair distance just to do so. So I'd rather get involved a little bit earlier instead of waiting 30 pips. And if this thing drops too far to the downside, once again, I just remove the order. Right, just swept liquidity into fair value up and looking for buyers. So opposing sell side liquidity, fair enough. Probably gonna happen during London. Yeah, read that before. Buyers, yeah, read that. Gold to 32.80. Might check. What a short market structure shows it, it's not shown on higher time frames. Wow, how's the volatility?
Hey, good morning.
How's it going, mate?
Fine, thank you. And you?
All good. All good. Just watching gold.
Waiting for the entry.
Yeah, almost. I was very, very close to being triggered in.
Yeah, I've seen it, so... And then it spiked down.
Yeah, I mean... I'm not sure if I'm liking it, to be honest, anymore. It does pop back up. It is very volatile. I mean, it's just popping down 20 pips basically in seconds by the looks of it. But here we go. Could
you adjust your lot size?
Yeah, I've got a much smaller position.
Yeah.
That's why a stop loss. It makes sense. It would be better above that previous candle's high. I just don't want to wait to be, have to be triggered in, 30 pips above the current candle's high, where I could have already secured profits if I do get triggered in. So accordingly, for Dano, you get a good setup. Will gold go back up and potentially. So what's the stop loss just now? 30. That's not too bad.
I'm looking maybe for some sells in EU.
Here?
Looking nice on the M30
Yep.
time frame.
Below support, yeah, it does look pretty good. If you get a nice strong closure below it. Yep. Rejecting the higher time frame resistance as well. Was traffic further to the left hand side. The daily high as well. Yeah, EU does look pretty good for options to sell it. Alright, gold, so let's measure it. What would stop loss now need to be? Yeah, I'm not all that keen on it, to be honest. You're now looking at some 40 plus pips. Yeah, I'm gonna remove the order. I just don't like it. There's a lot of volume on it. I'm gonna wait for more data to print, to be honest. If this closes bearish, then maybe a bullish engulfing play could be the next option leading into London Open. A lot of volume, but doesn't always mean it's that easy to trade it, to be honest. Still a view up. Nice one, gold sniper. Nice one with TP. All good, mate. I believe you, but yeah, I'm not gonna. It's all right. Stick to what I do. No, I've removed the buy stop. I'm waiting for the 15 to close. If it closes like this, it's an even stronger confirmation. Weak bearish candle, long lower wick. What that does is confirm some minor resistance just above the 4-hour support, and if we were to break the resistance, we're likely heading up. Got clean traffic to the left, so that's what I'm now going to wait for. To me, it's a more probable setup if it is to present. For Army, how I determine my stop losses is usually based off a previous candle. For instance, if I'm looking for a buy, usually a previous candle low. Preference is always the 30, but on gold that's pretty much not even an option of late because the volume. Then I can go down to the 15-minute time frame and use the previous M15 low. If that's too wide, which for most cases it is on gold, then my last resort is to use the entry candle, low wick on that, trusting since it's made low wick and if it's begun to break its own high, has not much of a need to pull back and break its own low again if it was to continue bullish, and if it did so, I would probably not want to be in a trade at that point. But even then, there's just that much volume on these candles that stop losses are a lot wider than the usual. It's not something I like personally. I like to have a pretty tight stop loss. I do trade fixed lots, but of late I've had to lower lot size on gold because of the stop loss. Stop loss is way too wide. Omega, nice one. It's in, and no, I've removed the order, not in. I almost got triggered in, got very, very close to it. NFS? No, I'm going for looking for a buy. Right of stocks? Yes. So I was waiting for the 30 minutes close bullish within at 15 engulfing. I got that, but the issue is I don't want to get involved as it breaks. That's usually as it breaks the high of the catalyst candle. That's usually when I will look to get involved with the momentum and the counter probabilities being to the upside at that point. But just to get to that point there, you got to travel some 30 odd pips. So I'd rather try to get in earlier. I'm not trusting it just now, especially with only a couple minutes left. So I'm going to wait and I'm going to line this up again. And if this candle closes now above, I'm going to use the 50. The 0.382 is the preference. 0.382 is a really solid confirmation for me to buy it. What that suggests to me if we close above the 0.382 is that it's a weak bearish closure. Bouncing off of 4-hour support still does provide some minor resistance, and if we were to break the minor resistance, looking to the left hand side, we have some clean traffic. The previous move to the downside was a very clean one. So off the back of that, if we broke it, I would look to potentially place a buy. From memory yesterday, it did the same thing, but the candle that made the move had no low wick. I think it was in Asian session actually. So it needs to have a low wick and it needs to close above minimum 50% from high to low. I mean, it could make a lower low just now. And if otherwise, so if it closes stronger, then what I need to simply do is wait for this signal. Strong bullish, preferably engulfing. And then I'd have another buy signal off the back of that. So again, as the data prints, I just reassess. I don't jump in based on emotions. So right now, it's not going to be valid. Wow, look at that rejection. Really got to be careful with gold. You have to be very, very careful with it at the moment. Because it's in one of its moves where it's just skipping pips, it will tear you a new one if you're not careful. Again, it's exciting to see the volume, but if you're not, aware of how to properly manage risk and things like that, you're going to get absolutely wrecked. That's the reality. Barman, good day to you. Oh, sniper, yeah, that'd be nice. Subscribe and share. Gold being gold, I'm seeing on my hands now. Yeah, you and I both, mate. Just through experience, you know when it might not be best to get involved. Let's look at GU again. All right, GU looking not bad. Actually looking pretty good. If you are to trust at the 15. I don't trade it, but that looks the best. Wow, AU is absolutely pumping. Very good thing. did gold drop to begin? So you open this candle, did it drop straight down? And it's impossible. It's really hard to trade gold at the moment because the impulse entry could have been valid based off that strong bearish engulfing candle closing right near the low of the zone. Needs to wait for an upper wick. It's finally got that. What I love is when it pops straight down first, then pops up to create upper wick and break its own low again. Because that suggests we'll grab a little bit more liquidity from the range above to make a deeper push down. Looking at some 36 pips as a stop loss. 30-minute is still open. It's nasty. Honestly, it's very difficult at the minute, gold. Got to be really careful. Gold sniper. This is where you should all pay attention and learn to minimize loss. Well, you are more disciplined than me overall. I do take some shady risks. Yeah, but as long as you're well aware of the risk that you are placing on the table, so you're accepting of it, I mean, it's totally up to you. But again, right now, the stop loss is going to be way too wide, even if I was to look for an impulse on the 15. Just need to wait. That's all I can do. Sylvia, when will I sell? Prefer to see a closure below 33.12, otherwise maybe upon the pullback. Underdog, if daily counters clearly show exhaustion. Huge wicks and keeps dropping. Fair value up 32. That's all good, mate. Again, I don't doubt you, that's your analysis, so just follow through with it. But I'm not interested in that level. I'm focused on the current level. Again, I'm just looking for small scalps. I'm not swing trading this. I'm not intraday trading it. I'm looking at in and out. For the most part, my trades are done within 5 to 10 minutes. That's the truth. So I don't doubt you. I don't trade fair value gaps or anything like that. But I'm just not interested in that level because we're so far away from it. Quality like to sell, I know you. Yeah, it just needs to close below that support though. If you're still on 13,000 lot. Nah, I'm joking. Again, it's not really of anyone's concern. It's not massive lots. I don't trade big lots. It is enough to see some good returns and some significant losses as well. Harry returns 3,500. Again, it could, but to be honest, I'm not focused on that. Once again, I don't predict. I react to, first of all, price action at the levels I've determined to be a level I'd want to get involved in a trade, and that's all I really care about. Couldn't care less about. I'm not being rude and not even go at you, but I'm just not interested in 3,500 because we're nowhere near it. I'm focused on 3,300 right now, basically 33.10, 33.20. Because that's the level we're currently at, and I want to see how I can try to get involved in a quick little move. Right now, it's not making it easy. That's for sure. It's very difficult. GJ's just rank absolutely shit house at the minute.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.
It goes buying. Not just yet. I'd like to be involved though. Dropping $60 at the open was ridiculous, Harry. Yeah, it could have been at the back of Trump news, potentially. Right, advice on risk management. Have a plan. Again, it just depends what type of trader you are. If you're a scalper, use things such as, for instance, if you're on a buy, look, use things such as candle lows or even entry candle. If you're in a buy or you're moving into a bit of profit and it begins to flip and go against you, instead of cutting some partials. Yeah, I've got it all documented for my team, how I go about it. But you really just have to watch, and you know, when I get involved in a live trade, I explain how I go about managing my risk. There you go, we had a nice 4-hour support. Yeah, but the momentum is to the downside. This closed weak bullish. I mean, we're not quite below the support. Just gonna mark in that level. We close weak bullish. I mean, even if we close like this, it will all once again come down to the entry counter low for the stop loss. It's erroneous. What is the best way to learn to start trading? Wow, look at this. Everything's on impulse with gold at the moment. It's really not easy. Best way to learn is to, well, watch people trade live. There's a lot of content out there. There's some good websites as well, but I'll type in the chat. So that's a good place to start. And that will help you with terminology and all that sort of stuff, all the basics. Yeah, gold is just being gold at the moment. It is really difficult. It's a nightmare at the minute. When it comes to price action, it's really not easy trading it. I mean, the next thing I can look for is bearish engulfing and potentially limit order. Impulse, pause, engulfing, that is what I call the interruption play. Now, usually it needs to close 8 to 10 pips below, but that just would not be enough. That would be literally like what would normally look like a pip or two below. So it needs to close significantly below. We just need to eyeball it, and if it closes well below that bullish candle, what I potentially do at London Open, look for a limit order sell. Right now I'm gonna be looking for options to sell it. Easy Jack Guru. Well, at the minute it is easier to say after it's sold, hasn't it? Isn't it? Yeah, again, I didn't have any confirmation to sell it, so I'm not fast. Ali? No thank you. I don't need to. What for? You can scalp shorts. What do you mean 23 and 13? What's that got to do with anything? Yeah, I'm sorry, mate. I have no idea what you're talking about. Is it Jack Guru? All good, mate. Again, you guys, follow your own plan, your own analysis. Me, I know confirmation, so I could have a confirmation shortly. Can't tap into target. Gold. Yeah, I don't trade off the 1 minute. I don't look at the 3 minute or anything. I don't force a trade. I do what works for me at the minute. Waiting for a slightly higher time frame confirmation. It's not really giving you that. It's moving without that confirmation. There's not much I can do about it. I just need to be wary of it and not all of a sudden just, you know, go down to the minute and try to force an entry if it's not there for me. Because that would be uncharacteristic. It would be against everything I do. And if I took a loss off the back of that, I'd be really, really pissed off at myself. So there's not much I can do about it, guys. Just need to chill. It's dropping. Fantastic. Well done to anyone who's in a sell. I'm happy for you. Just wasn't my trade. So I'm not fussed. I just need to chill and accept there's nothing at the minute. What can I do about it? Underdog, there is no FOMO when it comes to my trading. Obviously, some of you haven't been watching me for long enough. I never FOMO in. If it makes the move and I'm not in it, it's not my move. I can let it do its thing. I really couldn't care less. Gold sniping value on these streams for people learning is absolutely not available on any other channel. I appreciate the kind words, mate. Yeah, again, I'm just doing what I do, and some appreciate it, some don't, because they want to be involved every 2 seconds. It's all good. GU. How did that pop straight up and now pop back down, creates low wick? It's, yeah, I mean, even that's a nice strong confirmation. I'm not sure how this candle formed though. So now EU sells the best, but needs to start close below 113.70. Voice sounds exhausted.
Even if it's close below, just we have massive news coming.
EU? Oh yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's in 15 minutes or so, just after the open.
Yeah, 15 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, just make things easy. DJ's just chopping about. 30 looks ordinary, 15 looks okay. Much I can do, guys. I'm prepared to sit here and not take a trade if nothing presents. It's all. I don't really, honestly, couldn't care less. Gold Sniper, this is why I'll never stream. People just don't listen. All people got to do is watch you every day and apply. Frustrating people just don't listen. Yeah, look. Again, I understand people want to get involved in trades, but first and foremost, I need to take care of my own trading. So I'm not just going to set, you know, because someone mentions, oh, you should have bought gold, and all right, well, now I've got to buy it because everyone's saying I should buy it or whatever. I don't feel there's no such thing as peer pressure when it comes to trading. I'm responsible for my own account. Yeah, some people just want to be constantly involved. You know, up to them. Totally fine with me, but it's just not. It's not the way I trade. Like I've mentioned, I could trade, you know, 15 times a month, 20 times a month, and have a better return than someone's trading 100 times a month. And I'm putting myself under a lot less stress. All these pros on TikTok. Again, guys, well done. I'm happy for you. I could not care less. I honestly couldn't care less. Call it when you take a loss too. That's all I'll say. When you're in the background, you've taken a buy or sell, whatever, and it's gone against you. Call that as well. It's so easy to say it when it's going your way, and when it's not, everyone hides. So, all right, session open. And nice strong closure, and gold is tapped in the target, so there is no limit order. Tapped into the target here, bounced right off it. That is the move. There's just nothing right now. GJ in really, 30 looks terrible. 15 doesn't look bad. There is really not a great deal of margin. GU has no lower wick. I don't know if you've really got the margin either way. Yeah, about 9 pips. And EU, there's news about surely. Busy Jacker, all good, mate, all good. Again, honestly, I've always said I'm happy when you guys make money, even if it's the trade I'm not in. Well done, well done. But own it as well when you take a loss. That's all I say. Yeah, I appreciate the support as well. So thank you for continuing to watch. Right, does your plan or system set up have a name? I mean, there's different entry types within it. Again, it's just analyze, confirm, trade. That's my name, profile name. And it's basically just using simple price action at predetermined levels on the chart, and they provide me my signal. How many lots when you trade? This long, again, it's off no one's concern. I mentioned before, it is enough to see some decent returns and some significant returns, and also significant losses, but it's nothing huge. I'm not trading 10 to 20 lots like, you know, maybe some of you are, or I have no idea. But it's definitely enough to see some substantial increases and losses. Underdog? Yeah, that's all I can do right now. To be honest, I'm not going to short it just now. I mean, it's got no lower wick. It's bloody tempting to sell limit still. To place sell limit at the low of that bullish candle. But my rules are, again, happen for a reason. It's tapped into a target here. Another problem with stop loss is massive. Even if you place it just back above your 70 pips, it's just not worth it for me. Corny, not much. Gold made a move down, but no confirmation for me. Ali, good you didn't buy. Followed your rule, it saves you. Well, that's exactly why I have these rules. Not only just to, you know, take winning setups or high probability setups, but to prevent me from something that is less probable, more risky. Good not to lose, and it's okay if you don't take trade. Agreed. I know it's difficult because it's an exhilarating feeling when you're in a trade, especially it's going away. I think people sort of chase that rush, whereas for me, I honestly, it's got nothing to do with it. There is no such thing as emotion when it comes to trading with me. It's just purely following the plan that works. It's taken me a long time, and I've slowly have adjusted it. Last year I added some entries. The limit orders, the interruption entry as well, is a fairly new entry which tested, worked really well, worked fantastically well last year. Became one of my favorite. Well, I mean, zone to zone is still probably my favorite, but I adapt, I adjust. Yeah, I just follow the plan, follow my rules. Corny, wait for the dart silly. That's my rule, nothing else. That's fair enough. If that's your rule, it's a rule. So at least you wait for it. I wait for dart to print and let me know, you know, what price action is doing, where we're at. Gives me also an indication where I think the buyers, the sellers are more present at any given time, and you know, that can help persuade me. So what? It's not been easy to find decent entries of late. That's for sure. Rather, you'll find it all on my profile page, mate. Silvio, in for a buy. Want gold? Nah, not at the moment. Next potential buy level is back above the 15-minute resistance here, back above the 4-hour support as well. Up and up, brother. How are you? Long time. Hope all is well. Seeing you been jet setting a bit. Welcome. Not spoke for a while. We'll have a chat sometime. Gold sniper? Nah, not trading it. Bonnie, you think we have a liquidity grab for gold to turn around, but again, wait for the data to tell me. That's all you can do. Lurching, you gotta sell. Started from the top, current candle. Okay, from the zone. Nice one. Have a plan as to how you're gonna manage it. Is that gold? Yes, it is. Tricky, do you have a free link? There's a lot of content on the profile page. Am I bearish on gold? As long as we remain below the current level, yes, but it doesn't mean I can just sell it. I need to wait for a confirmation. Dean, average return, it all depends. Anywhere between usually 0.5% up to about 3.5%, 4%. Last, what was it? Not last Friday, Friday before. That particular trade was a big one. That was like 5 or something. So it's generally speaking, average is around 1.5, because I do trade fixed lots again. So my losses are bigger too if I don't manage it. That's why I do manage my losses. I keep them very small. Matt Pug, anyone having issues with TradingView? Not me personally. Up and up, good. All good, mate. Been a bit busy. Business basketball competition, nice one. Hope it's all been going well for you. Interesting times in the NBA, isn't it, my friend? Who would have thought Luka Doncic, depends how you pronounce it, be playing for the Lakers in the playoffs? Absolutely crazy, isn't it? Lurching, got your stop loss at 33.16. Back above the support. Okay. I got the driest mouth. Not good for streaming. Tony Gold, Greg, I shouldn't have mentioned it because you just spoiled it for me. I haven't watched it, man. I haven't had time. I was gonna watch it later. Doesn't matter. I'll watch whatever other game was on. So I'm assuming they won. How did Luca go? To be honest, he's probably my favorite player at the moment. Not that I really like the Lakers, but I just follow certain players more than anything, to be honest. Got your TP 3284. Yeah, it's a pretty good level. Yep. I like it. Underdog. Again, I'm just following my rules. I didn't have a strong enough confirmation to do anything. Not saying I watch it. Nah, all good, man. All good. Honestly, I don't mind, because likelihood is that I won't even have time to watch it. Wednesdays I do the members call for MI. He's a professional. He's just an absolute gun, isn't he? All right, so we've got Euro news shortly. Yeah, I want to see what sort of impact this has on GJ. It generally does. I think it might just move stop loss down to, yeah, it's entry. Good. I think it's a good idea. In case trading views jams, it seems like brokers want to manipulate the market. So you got a second person who's mentioned trading view is not working properly. It's fine on my end. Alright, so we got news in 30 seconds, guys. We'll look at the Euro. Just want to see the spreads one on GJ. Yep, they are 5 pips on GJ. 6 pips, 7 pips stop loss. Sorry, not stop loss, spread. So for those that think that Euro news does not impact the pound, there you go. Have a look at your spreads. Not much happening on EU. It's the first of the releases, so the French data. German data to follow shortly. and that is obviously the bigger of the two economies, the number one in Euro. All right, let's watch gold. There could still be options on gold here. I'm not writing it off completely. I still need to wait for this 30 to close and this 15. There are going to be potentially two options. If this closes bearish engulfing, once again, it will come down to a stop loss. As long as stop loss isn't anything huge. So first potential validation would be bearish engulfing on the M15. Otherwise, what would also give me a potential option would be, once again, based off this time the 30, using the fib. And if this closes below the 50, but we'll preference the 0.382, it's a much stronger confirmation. That would suggest it's a weak enough closure after retesting the zone. We've got clean traffic below as well. Off the back of that, I could potentially look for a sell stop below this bullish candle. So it could still be options. Omega, what happens to those gold buys? What gold buys? Nothing at the moment. There's no gold buys at the minute. GU? Yeah, obviously the news about, so and it's looking better for break zone high. Yeah, for break zone high, you just have to use the entry candles to stop. Again, you just isn't worth it though. You got 9 pip target, 13 pip stop. It's not worth it. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna focus on gold. Charm by high solo. Can do that. Continuation. I do it. I also buy low and sell high. Tricky free learning resources. Please explain your strategy for today. I've been over my plan for today. So gold, as long as we remain above 33.15 roughly, I was bullish, preferring to look for options to buy. But since we have popped low, closed below, retested, I'm preferring options to sell it. So pretty much what I'm looking at. Ah man, I just removed ETH by accident. Free learning resources, there's plenty on the internet. There's some also on my profile page. So there's another one. So we've got quite a few of you complaining about TradingView today. So not too sure, but for me, obviously it's working fine. The news came out as negative. Alright guys, I'll be back in 1 minute. Don't go anywhere. Alrighty, guys. My architecture is not working. Wow. Whereabouts are you guys located? Because it's fine on my end. It's working. No problems here. Ali, you're in a sell from 34.48. Nice one. Holding till 2,500. And I'm sure it will hit TP. Kudos to you, mate, if you are doing so and that's what you believe. I don't think there is such thing as, you know, being sure. Like, it's good to be confident, but how do you know? Let's restart PC. England. It's working again. Okay. What do you say to GU, Jeremiah? It's a bit tricky. There's no margin to the upside. That's the issue. To be honest, I think it's best below 132.880 for a sell, or potentially a bit higher up if it rejects. Pretty much this whole level, sort of left hand side. To be honest, I don't really see anything on it. Alright, just under 7 minutes. Silver's keeping quite strong, even though gold is dropping. So watching gold here, guys. We want it's close below this horizontal. We want an upper wick, and as soon as we get that, we can look to set a sell stop below the low of the bullish candle. So again, just following some clear-cut rules. There's no FOMO, there's nothing. It's just as robotic as it can possibly be. Tayo, welcome to you. So can you get an entry now if you want to? And I'm just following my rules. I don't have an entry. I don't see anything solid. You got on GJ anyway. There's high impact news to come. We saw what it did to the spreads. The French news, German news will do similar. So the last thing you want to do is be triggered in by a spread when you don't even have the right confirmation to sell it to begin with. So the confirmation for me to consider a sell would be the closure below. Anything above is just in consolidation, so there is no real option for me to trade that unless we begin to close below. Gold, again, my plan is I want it to close below this horizontal. If it does, I will consider an impulse sell below the low of the bullish candle. If not, so be it. I need to wait. And will the market crash again? Who knows? It could bounce. Who knows? Not everything can go, you know, upwards forever, or not everything will go downwards forever. There will be pullbacks. Gold is making a pullback now. To me, it's still extremely bullish. But the minor time frames have actually flipped bearish, so there are options to sell it. Excuse me. Trading is boring, guys, in all honesty. For the most part, for about 98% of the time, you're just sitting here waiting for a confirmation. But I know if I have the patience to wait for that right time, there is more than 80% chance I'm going to be on the end of a nice win. So I know, based off my data, that's what I need to do. Don't try to improvise, getting anything at second rate. Just stick to your plan. And right now, nothing's presenting. So FOMO is just an option right this minute. Bruno, if any people here followed your channel more closely and regularly, they would see how much money you make by being patient, sticking to the rules and structure you teach. Thanks again, appreciate you, mate. Thank you for the kind words. Yeah, I know a lot do appreciate it, but there's obviously going to be others who are just fishing. Credit's due, and you do it for free. Well, that's it. I drop a lot of, you know, free education on the stream. Sarah, what liquidity? I'll type it in the chat just in case I have issues with the ban hammer. TikTok's quite sensitive. It should be an S at the end. Markets. Alright, forgot to check out the spreads on GJ for the news release. Either way, there's no entry there. Let's quickly look at the release, the data. Mixed bag. To be honest, anything below 50 is negative. So still, data would suggest that, you know, still a bit of a struggle for the Eurozone. Got similar to follow for the pound in an hour's time. My architecture, so yeah, quite a few of you have said that. This line, my own. Yeah, I've had bad experience with a prop firm. Put me off big time. You have access to a 300k account only for it to be taken away from you when you do a payout with some bullshit parameter that was never in any. It's still not into the date. So this date, it's still not in their rules for that particular prop firm. And they take it away from you. It just I lose all trust in that sort of you know, service, to be honest. Use avoid gold buy, see the month ends. That's fair enough. Again, I'm just looking short-term entry, so I don't really care. There's plenty of time for me to get involved, whether it be to the downside or upside. I'm not worried about the monthly right now. It could give me options upon a pullback to buy it. Could give me options upon a continuation within it to buy it. Could give me options to sell it. We're still a week away from the monthly closure, so I'm not gonna just avoid buying it because we're within a week of the closure. That's just my personal opinion. Mr. Long, all good? Choking water. Excuse me. Yeah, that particular challenge was excuse me, wasn't cheap at all, to be honest. To access that amount of fake money, so that's what it was. You know, set me back about 5k Aussie, roughly. Couldn't get it back, nothing. I was considering taking it further, but it's just not worth it. It'd be more of a pain, more of a headache than anything, and you probably won't even win, to be honest. Oh, I wish it was vodka, mate. honestly. No, I've been well behaved, to be honest. I had a few beers over Easter, but nothing major. Actually, I prefer rum, to be honest, man. So yeah, what's a really good drop? Say the Jerry's, the apple rum. Oh man, wow, that's really good stuff. Mix it with a little wedge of lime, squeeze it. You can use a little bit of soda, and a little bit of ginger ale, and wow, so good. Extremely easy to drink though. Carl, trust. Yeah. How good is it? I mean, even the cheaper rums, they're all. I'll knock it, to be honest. Captain Morgan's classic. Even some of the cheaper Thai rums, I don't mind, to be honest. Talking about 12 to 15 bucks a bottle. Actually, it's gone up. That's gone up a fair bit, but still quite cheap. Oh man. So what I'm going to do is wait around for the closure of this hourly and see if there is a catalyst within the 30. If there is, I'll stay on the entry. If not, I'll call it. So I've got at least 21 more minutes, guys, to see something presents. It's not going to happen on GJ. It's just consulting. We're focused on gold here. Carl not Samsung. I hope that stuff is bad. I actually don't mind it, man. In all honesty, I really don't mind it. I think it's pretty good for a cheap alternative. With soda though, and you gotta get the mix right, mate. So soda and just plain water, still water. Little mix of both. Does give you some headache. Actually, no, I'm pretty good with it, to be honest. I don't really get hangover. It's the other one, the cheaper one, Hong Tong, that gives me hangovers. That stuff's horrible. Shit on what other apps other than TradingView? Not sure, to be honest. Any recommendations, guys? I have no idea. I need to meet in person. I've got a story about that and some random girl I met. I would love to one day. It's still on the cards, guys. A Thailand meetup, that would be bloody good fun, that's for sure. Hoping it was a girl, mate. That's all I can say. Yeah, look, whatever floats your boat. Another one, can't open TradingView. Sorry, man, I have no idea what to call you. Obviously, is that Chinese characters, or I'm assuming it's Chinese, not Japanese. Yeah, so quite a few of you have issues with TradingView today. Maybe it's a sign. TradingView app, Carl, is working for you on the Mac. Okay. Yeah, so maybe try using the app, guys. Slow. This is Trade Locker. I've heard of that one actually. Yeah, we'll have to look it up, guys. I'll probably be there in September. So let's see if we can lock something in. Carl, anyone else? If you let me know, we can try to organize something. It'd be bloody good fun, that's for sure. Slow works well. Haven't had problems. They have monthly Sunday server downtime for an hour. Oh, okay. Gold pushing up. Really tough at the moment. I understand not for everyone because everyone has different ways of going about things, but for me, I just don't have any strong confirmation at all to take anything at the minute. Lemon, no. Scoping was looking for buys earlier. Just missed being triggered in since reversed. And was considering limit orders, but this candle here tapped into my target. So off the back of that rendered that entry invalid. Now there's just a lot of volume, so it's hard because stop loss placement is a big issue. JJ's just been shit out the whole stream. just chilling.
Yeah, maybe sometimes you need to accept that there is no valid entry at the end. So for me also, I'm looking on GU and EU. I didn't find entries right now, the right entries, so you need to wait.
Yeah, exactly. It's just really nothing. The levels aren't the best as well, because GU you tapped into some support here.
Yeah, even if it would close below this support here in the M50,
you don't have the margin, do you?
There is no margin, so you need to accept at the end the market structure.
Exactly. So best thing really right now is to let it make some clean moves. Nice clean move down.
At the end.
Go on, mate.
Yeah. So as you mentioned before, so maybe you are waiting for the end of this hour. So maybe it's better to go away from now on until the next hour started, because then maybe there is something changed. Yeah, because even you need to wait for the candle to close. Right, yeah,
exactly. There is nothing wrong with doing that, in all honesty. If I'm trading by myself away from the stream, I do things like that. If I know I'm waiting for a closure, then I'd happily walk away, you know, go into the kitchen, do whatever I need to do for 10-15 minutes, come back, check the chart, just to see where we're at. And I know if I'm going to need to potentially focus, give myself a good few minutes, But prior to any of that, I know exactly where I want to get involved. So nothing wrong with doing that. I used to do it. I used to multitask while I was actually I wasn't streaming at that point, but I used to during a London session when something wasn't necessarily moving in the right direction or as I wanted to, I'd go make dinner, come back. A lot of time missed the move, but for the most part I kept an eye on it and I still managed to get involved.
Yeah. So I can tell on my experience. So you are sitting in front of the computer and you are chasing the trades, and then you are making trades which are not really sensible, and then you are making mistakes and losing money.
Yep.
So this is
Really bad about it too.
also
When it happens.
2 years ago.
Yep. How that has changed so much, hasn't it?
Absolutely. So there is no rush at the end. You need to be cool. Sorry to say that.
No, it's true. So true. Cole, no worries, mate. I'll catch you later. Goes me all the way. Yeah, I mean, I've been working with Franco for what, a couple of years now, and you've come from back from probably the most popular streamer out there. Yeah, everyone will know who that is. It's the most popular streamer on YouTube. And not really knowing your way about things, even though you're part of that group. And since working with myself, how things have changed.
Yeah. So this one-on-one coachings, this was amazing.
Yeah.
And also right now, so this knowledge what you are giving to the guys and to the group is amazing.
Yeah, and I'm working on a few things too. So.
Yeah, that's good.
Always.
And to be clear also to the team, so Justin had some entries which so for me it's not my way to get into a trade, and I'm not doing this, so I'm not completely doing all the things which Justin are doing. So
no.
It's need to fit also to yourself.
Yeah, exactly. That's an added benefit. Alright, so let's say on gold, really be nice if it rejects, closes weak bullish back below this previous support, which we could then argue is potentially holding as resistance. I mean, you won't have that confirmation until the candle itself closes bearish. What you might have is a strong M15 closure. Engulfing would also be nice. The issue with that will be stop loss yet again. So once again, it would all come down to the upper wick on the entry candle. But first things first, we want to close, once again, we want to close weak. So we want it to be well below the previous level here. And use the fib, I'm not sure if I'll factor it in too much. So below 0.382, we're closing back below that previous level here. I'd really like it to close even weaker though. So we'll keep an eye on that, and that's probably the last potential option. If not, it's just not going to happen on stream. How's it going, guys? TradingView still causing issues, or is it up and running now? Gold Sniper, you can't even load it. Wow. Yeah, it's probably to do with assuming a lot of you are over in the UK. Not sure. Could be the server. No idea. I'm shit when it comes to technicals and that.
Question, Justin. Will you do a pre-invite today?
Yeah, I'll be on.
Okay.
Susanna, still issues? Okay. Yeah, it's not great, is it? By the way, thank you to all the new followers on TikTok. Appreciate it. Mo, should we sell? For me to sell it, like I mentioned before, I want it to close back below this previous level here. That would suggest to me of likely just grab liquidity from back above the 4-hour support. And if we were to reject, close back below it, that would be enough for me to look for a potential sell if we begun to break low of this candle in anticipation that price. There's a high probability that it will eventually pop back down towards current daily candles low if that was to be the case, but at the moment we're pushing back up. The buys are going to be very tricky. Let's have a look at the hourly. The hourly could be closing back strong bullish. I know we've got no low week. I'm not concerned by that now. We've got 6 minutes remaining. Yeah, I mean, likely not going to have the margin to buy it, but we'll keep a little bit of an eye on that as well. If this closes weak bearish, it does, again at that point, we have a little bit of a minor resistance back above the 4-hour support. And if we were to break above the minor resistance, got some clean traffic up towards this 33.22 region. The issue once again will be stop loss. Now to use, let's just say it ticks the boxes. To use the current candles low, you're looking at about 56 pips. Your target is about 35 roughly. That's not great, to be honest. So again, it will come down to the entry candle. So the following candle, if it's ticked off, it may not be ticked off. If it just begins to pop up now, again, it's just not going to be worth it because it's not going to have the margin. At that point, probably best to wait for it to pop above and close above this 32.23 region to the upside here. Most recent resistance. Again, when things aren't going well, it's not like they're not going my way, they're just not giving me any quality entries. It doesn't mean I all of a sudden shift gears and go down to the 5 minute or the 3 minute or the 1 minute, because it's just not what I do. So as Franco mentioned before, and as I've mentioned many times, I just need to accept the fact that maybe it's not going to be a good day for me to get involved in the markets, or this session in particular. Because for me, this isn't gambling. I know it is technically a form of it, but I like to think I'm using my head a little bit more to have a much higher probability of being on the right side of things, as opposed to just, you know, rolling the dice basically.
Question, Justin, on GJ.
Yep.
See that the M30 time frame is not great, but the M50, if this on the M50, if we close weak bearish there, and then breaking the high of the bullish candle.
Yeah. Again, there's just very little margin. You're looking at, once you have spread, about 11, maximum 11 pips.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's the stop loss at the end should be then the double of the target.
Well,
okay, makes
yeah, and
sense.
look, to be honest, the 30-minute time frame, you got 4 pips.
Yeah.
So to me, it'd be forcing it. It's just there is no clean area within the current level to take it by. For me, it still remains above 189.220 or below 188.560. I'd avoid this level unless create some clean moves and either rejects, gives you a nice signal, or pops straight back down, gives you a nice signal to buy it.
Yeah, thank you.
All good, mate. Not a problem at all. Well, long GJ's a good buy. Maybe. Again, I don't have any confirmation bias, just consulting. Fed Powell is back. How do you feel, my friend? Mr. Trump has announced you're not in any immediate danger of being fired. For our support range could back up again, gold. Yeah, it's back at the support, it's hovering back above it. So what would be nice if this fire actually closes back bullish for the long low wick? Pretty much a replica of what we had here to the left. And based off that, I mean, buys above that candle's high. You obviously got to go down to the minor time frames to also see how we approach and what's going on. But that, you've got clean traffic above it, that could be a decent option as well moving forward. Hoping not to be fired. Well, whatever he said in regards to that, I think was a positive for the equities, for also for the crypto. Markets like stability. They definitely don't like in uncertainty. All right, let's see. Under a minute. Looks like we're not going to get a confirmation. Yeah, tough stream. Nothing of quality at all. So we got the hourly closure. We're below resistance. We're above 4 hour support. There is nothing. GJ still consolidating. So for me, that's it. Not going to sit any further into London session. I'm going to go, relax, have some dinner, and come back to charts a little bit later on with my team and see if we can find a high quality setup. Thank you one and all for joining. Appreciate the support. Top ones get involved. Well done to anyone who did get involved and took some profits. Honestly, I'm happy for you guys. Well done for trading your plan. Otherwise, I will be back tomorrow, so roughly the same time. Yeah, looking forward to that. Hopefully, maybe by then, hopefully gold has settled down a little bit. There isn't as much volume in these candles, so but we'll see. Anyway, guys, don't do anything stupid. High impact news to come into MI session. High impact news to come shortly for the pound as well. So be wary of that. You got in 30 minutes time. So trade safe. And Franco, to my guys, I will see you a little bit later on. You take care, mate.
Yeah. Thank you. See you.
Cheers,
Bye.
bro. YouTube, thank you all. Take care, guys. Have a good one. I'll catch you tomorrow. Cheers. Bye, team.